Alright, gonna do a schedule prediction here. This is gonna be on the Green Bay Packers. Last year I predicted them to go 11-6, which was exactly right. Although I thought they'd win one playoff game, they did not. This year I expect them to regress some. I got the schedule right here, and so I'm gonna predict it right now. Week 1 against the Lions, I have a loss. I could see them winning it with, them getting new coordinators, but I think roster-wise, they're still a better team, and I think they're going to get swept by them again. Dan Campbell owns the Packers, and that's that. Week 2 versus the Commanders, I got a win, 1-1. I expect the Commanders to regress some this year. I could also see the Packers starting 0-2, definitely. But I think they can. I think they can beat the Commanders, and I do expect the Commanders to be worse this year. Probably still a playoff team, but probably not 12-5. Week 3 at the Browns win, not much to say there. Week 4 at the Cowboys, could see them losing that, but got a win, think they're better. Week 5 is the bye, horrible bye. Week 6 versus the Bengals, I got a loss. I like the Bengals. I like Joe Burrow. Their defense isn't that great. So that's why they could win that game. But I think that Cincinnati offense will be pretty good. And I just think they'll lose. Week 7 at the Cardinals win. Week 8 at the Steelers loss. So that's 4-3. Week 9 against the Panthers win. Week 10 versus the Eagles a loss. Week 11 versus Giants win. Week 12 versus the Vikings win. Week 13 at the Lions, a loss, so I have them getting swept, so we're at 7-5 now. Week 14 versus the Bears, at home, I got a win there. Week 15 at the Broncos, I got a win there too. I've seen a lot of people think that the Packers will lose to the Broncos. I got them winning. I have the Broncos as a surprise team to miss the playoffs. There's always some team that you expect to make it that made it the year before and will miss, and so I think maybe the Broncos will just do worse just because they'll be that team for whatever reason. So I got to win there. Week 16 at the Bears, got a loss. Week 17 versus the Ravens, loss. And lastly, Week 18 at the Vikings, got another loss. So have them losing their last 3 games. They start out 9-5 and lose their last 3 and miss the playoffs. They finish, third in the NFC North. I got the Lions finishing 12-5, the Bears finishing 11-6, and the Vikings finishing 9-8 as well. So Packers and Vikings missed the playoffs both at 9-8. Packers should have went 0-6 last year. I don't think they'll get swept by the whole division. I think they will beat the Bears at least once and probably the Vikings. But I could totally see them missing the playoffs, and I do have them missing the playoffs. There's just, in my opinion, there's just too many guys that have to be good or have to take that next step. And with this schedule, I think there's just has too much to happen, and it's just I think it's more realistic that they finish 9-8 or 8-9 than like 12-5. And even if they do make the playoffs somehow at 9-8 or maybe win 10 games and go 10-7, they have to win at least a playoff game, because even if they do finish 9-8 or 10-7 and they lose in the first round, that's still a failure. Even if it's like the same as if they missed the playoffs, it's still a failure. And I just don't see that happening. So yeah, overall failure season for the Packers, and we'll see what happens, of course, but right now I have them regressing.